everyone, I am Angela Cruz with Smokey Designs, and today I want to talk to you about Suncatchers. Now this is obviously a much larger version of a Suncatcher than you would probably be making for your customers, but it's a really great way for me to show you what products you're going to need to make this. So for every Suncatcher, you're going to want 2 or 3 layers. This Suncatcher is a 2-layer, so you can see here in the front we have a pretty intricately cut black acrylic, and on the back is where we have our transparent PatternPly. Now you do have the option, and I think it looks really nice, but for as big as this was, I didn't want to add too much weight. You could cut a second intricate piece of black and match it up on the back so it's sandwiched between. This would be your side against the window, but if you have it as a 2-sided piece with the black on each side, it doesn't matter which way you put it on your window. The key thing for the Suncatchers, you can use a variety of thicknesses, which I'll talk about more in a minute, but the main thing you want to keep in mind is you want to choose only items on our website from the transparent collection. And you can get that if you hit the Shop PatternPly at the top. There is a transparent, frosted, and metallic section, and that's where you're going to find all of these patterns that are transparent. And you'll see the product image will always be us holding it up to the light so you can see how the light comes through it. So on its own, this piece is kind of dull, but when illuminated from behind, you can see how bright and vibrant it is. And that's what's going to be best for Suncatchers because your sun's going to come through it. In terms of thickness, you have several options. This material is our flex. This is the transparent on clear flex. And an advantage of this is that it doesn't weigh anything. It's super light. I like to think of it like those old overhead transparencies that we had in grade school. It's very much like that. So you can add layers and not add a bunch of weight. So for example, if I had wanted to put that black piece on the back as well, maybe it would have been a better option for me to use the flex in the middle, because then I would only have the weight of the acrylic itself. You could also change the thickness of your acrylic. You can use, instead of 1/8, which I used here because I wanted a little more meat on it, you could use 16th inch acrylic. You could use 16th inch transparent in the middle. It's all about the look you want and the weight you want. So our transparent patterns, you can get them on the flex, and then you can also get them in the traditional 1/8 inch clear acrylic that I used here. So this is exactly what I used on this large one. You can see that when it's peeled, the sun comes through and it has that exact same look as the flex. The only difference is the weight of the material. Either will work great for Suncatchers. If you mess up and choose from the wrong category and choose a 2-sided on clear, not all hope is lost. You can still use it, but it won't be your traditional Suncatcher. So you can see here, this is actually 2-sided, and this is our rainbow stained glass leaves pattern. So it looks really great, but the thing is that you can't see my hand behind it. Light isn't coming through it. So instead of it being a true Suncatcher, it's more of just window decoration, which is fine, but it will not allow the light to come through it like this one does. In terms of your front or back pieces, most common is black acrylic, but you can also use things like wood. Wood is another popular option. If you're going to use wood, I recommend spraying it with something like our frog juice or any other polyacrylic that you would put outside to protect it. In terms of spraying the PatternPly itself with the frog juice for the Suncatchers, if it's going to be an indoor Suncatcher, it's not really needed. But if you will be placing this outside and hanging it in a garden, for example, then I would recommend spraying all of it with the frog juice just to protect it in the sun. Something I'm not seeing a lot of, but I think it would really pop, is if you used white acrylic as your front or back piece with the transparent. I think that would look really cool. But I'm not seeing a whole lot of it, but I think that would be really, really neat. I should cut one. But as long as you stay in the transparent section, you are good to go with Suncatchers. Again, the thickness you choose really just depends on how much weight you want to add to your piece. You can honestly go as thin as I have one here. This is literally just the flex with a laser safe vinyl applied to it. So it's super, super, super thin. It's pretty hard to mount that on there that thin, but you can go as thin as that or as thick as this or even thicker than that, depending on what size you choose. And all of these designs, just want to point out, this is from Wispy Willow Designs Company. If you're looking for files, that's the ones we used for any of the ones that we had displayed at Smokefest. So that's how you would do your sun catcher. And for glue, we usually recommend a CA glue or super glue. We tend to use Loctite, but everybody seems to have their preference, but that's what we use for these, nice and clear, and then you don't see it from behind. And that's all you need to know for sun catchers. Thank you so much for watching.